So apparently, well, LA Knight and Andrade and Carmelo Hayes are still all kind of ticked off at each other. And LA and Andrade were talking when Hayes runs in from off camera and just body checks LA Knight over an equipment case. And when he fell on the other side, it's like he kept going into a hole. He disappeared. And you never heard a word. You never saw a movement. And the camera lingered as Hayes and Andrade looked at each other and had their interaction. And then the camera lingers on Andrade. And there's not even like from behind the case, help me, I'm hurt, help me. Nothing. Just fucking, he fell over the case and he was gone. It would sound like that, right? Help me, I'm hurt. I can't, oh my God, good Lord, I can't get up.
At least Andrade's hanging out in the back and he's not involved in punching out one of the other wrestlers.
So then they had the match between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade they're having a best of 5 series, and this was match number 6.
Best of 7.
Well, it started, no, the graphics said best of 5. They had a best of 5 series that is going to go to 4 out of 7, apparently. But match 6.
This was good.
Well, sure. If you were these people's immediate family, you loved it.
The fans there got into it. It was a fun match.
Yeah, well, the fans there like fucking wearing other people's underwear. How's that?
I don't know what that means.
Well,
are they stealing it or they just have it? They steal it or they have it?
Well,
someone left it.
There's an entire exchange marketplace where I can give you the website.
I guess it's an insult depending on how you obtain the underwear, but nevertheless, that's going to be my masked wrestler gimmick. Nevertheless. But nevertheless, back to SmackDown.
Good match is what they had.
It was a good match, and the fans got into it. And LA Knight, of course, got involved. Did you see the finish at least?
Yes, I did. LA Knight came out. He went for Hayes, but Andrade stopped him, and Hayes knocked Andrade into LA Knight, and then rolled Andrade up 1, 2, 3, and then LA Knight and Andrade argued with each other, and my takeaway was dealing with these two fucking schlubs does nothing for LA Knight. When he got so over, and everybody else that was so over is interacting with other people that are so over, and he's stuck over here with these fucking cretins.
There's something about Andre. I can't fucking do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing today. There's something about Andrade that I get a kick out of. From the promos to whatever his gimmick or personality. There's something about him. I almost wanted to see him and LA Knight in like a buddy kind of situation. He could be LA Knight's buddy. And LA Knight's the only one who understands him.
You have just said that you like a guy and you cannot enunciate or enumerate one single attribute of his that you like, but I like that guy.
There's something about him.
Something about him.
You know, it's like Naomi. She comes out there. She glows. How do you not like that? She makes you want to get up and move.
Yes, away from the television. But
that was it was a good match. The point is, it was a good match, and they're trying, you know what? They're trying to get Carmelo over. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
The best of 7.
They've been trying to cure cancer for 150 years.
And, well, I guess longer than that, maybe. I mean, when did the effort start? Who knows?
I don't think they knew what it was before fucking the Civil War, did they? He's got the dry rot.
Is the Civil War 150 years ago?
Well, 160 now, almost. Who's counting?
Well, I was counting. That's why I corrected you, but let's go back to SmackDown.
Well, what does Andrade have to do with the Civil War?
Well, nothing. There was a Mexican Civil War, wasn't there?
Well, yes, but there was a Spanish-American War, too, so should we still be mad at him? The point is that I don't think that LA Knight is getting anything done for him here, but you're talking about people marching to the beat of their own drummers. Well, I think that... What did you say?
I asked you this a couple of weeks ago, I think. Who would you have LA Knight work with right now?
Anybody else but these people. Chad Gable would be entertaining. with LA Knight, because he could be a little weasel and talk if they get rid of his crew and get him away from the Wyatts. He's got some heat. LA Knight could tell him off. I don't know. Where was I going with that?
LA Knight's one of the only guys not in a faction. It's becoming like AEW a few years ago. Everyone has a group.
Well, LA doesn't, he's not outgoing and makes friends easily. That's the problem. He's stuck in his shell. He's an introvert.
Where were you going?
I don't know. But have I mentioned that our friends over at Raycon sell everyday wireless earbuds that you just got to have?
Every day?
Every day they're selling another pair. I think yesterday they sold 2 pair.
Wow.
And they are made to make your everyday just a little bit easier. They've added new features to make them even more easy to use. That's the way it's written. Even more easy to use. That should be just even easier to use, right? But nevertheless, it's easy for you to say. The everyday earbuds feature a 32-hour battery life, multi-point connectivity that lets you pair 2 devices together. It sounds perverted to me, but if you want to do it, as long as they're of consenting age. And there's active noise cancellation, which you just stick them in there, you can't hear it thunder. You could be run over by a train coming at you from behind, you'd never know it. And actually, that makes it easier, because if you know that train is coming, boy, the last 10 seconds of your life is going to be fucking miserable.
Where is this happening? You're running away? You're running on the train tracks away from the direction of the train?
Well, would you be running toward it?
Why are you running on the train tracks? Why are you running on the train tracks?
To get away from the train. What are you, an imbecile?
What? But what? There's nowhere else to go?
Well, if there was, you wouldn't be on the tracks, would you?
What are you, on a bridge? Is it a long bridge?
It could be. It could be the longest bridge you ever see in your life if you don't get away from that train. That's why you need Raycons.
No, the longest bridge, I think, was Seat earlier this show.
Well, there's did I mention the quick charge function? Where you can plug these things in for 10 minutes and you'll get 90 minutes of battery, just boom, if you just like that.
That's tremendous. You did not mention it already today. So.
Well, the ergonomic design to fit comfortably in the widest range of ears, whether they be giant elephant ears or small little shell-like ears, you can shove these things in and they actually expand somewhat to meld with your skin.
No, there's no melding with your skin. No.
Well, because that way, if they grow in slightly, then that sound baffles even better. When the skin grows to the optimal gel tips, then it causes it to be like a spray foam insulation. And that way you don't get extra outside noise involved.
You don't get any of this noise because none of this noise is true. Every spot starts out innocent enough, and then it turns into EC Comics all of a sudden.
I don't know what's the matter. Why would you want these things growing on in your head? Because with the battery life, they've got 32 hours, and the earbud tap functions reduce discomfort. It says right here, the earbud tap functions to reduce discomfort when using the earbuds. So let's say your hemorrhoids are acting up. You got these earbuds in your ear, boom, you use the tap functions, and boy, a lot less throbbing and burning. It reduces discomfort, folks, and
comes out of your ear. Let's just make sure it doesn't meld to your skin. We want to make sure we clarify that.
Well, and also, they offer a 30-day happiness guarantee. So right there, you're going to be happy for a month at least. And then it'll wear off, and then you'll be sorry you were ever born.
No, you will be happy with Raycon.
Well, if you can be happy with anything, but some people just can't ever be happy. Stop the fuss, folks. Go to buyraycon.com/JCE today, because listen to this. 20 to 50% off. 20 is normal. 25 is generous. 50%, that's crazy. Crazy Eddie has taken over Raycon. 20 to 50% off side-wide, of course, depending on what it is, but you will get up to 50% off everything on Raycon's website, buyraycon.com/JCE, with you using that code, of course. If you don't use the code, they won't take your money. They'll say, fuck you, go home. So use the code.
Use the code. Enjoy the earbuds, whether you are someone who wants to enjoy the day or if you are depressed and want to hear sad songs. Well, I don't know why you would want to hear sad songs if you were down, but hear whatever you want. The choice is yours with Raycon. One more time, promo code Jim.
JCE. Sad songs say so much. And also, if you're going to plan on getting hit by a train in the next week or two,
don't plan on that.
Well, if it's gonna come up in your schedule, you need a set of earbuds quick.
It won't be coming up in your schedule. Stay off the tracks. Avoid the third rail with Raycon. Back to SmackDown, Jim.
Well, now that's not train tracks. There's no third rail on a railroad track. You're thinking of a subway track. Now,
no.
Who would be stupid enough to be running away from a subway train?
The Long Island Railroad has a third rail.
Well, all the trains that I've seen in the Wild Wild West, Wild
West, really?
They just have two rails, one on each side, and the guy throws the coal or the wood in, and the whoop whoop.
No, the Long Island Railroad third rail, because every few years some kid electrocutes himself, not realizing that when everyone says you're going to electrocute yourself, it really will happen when you touch it.
Well, it seems like that would be a public health menace. If they just had that, do they have this walled off or fenced off or something where people can't just wander and just walk across the railroad tracks like we do down here in the country?
No, it's kind of just right there. But speaking of right there, right back to SmackDown.
Right back to SmackDown. There's a place over here in Pee Wee Valley where the railroad tracks goes down beside of the road, and when you turn left to go across the railroad tracks, there's a hump. And then you go down the other side and you turn to go out to Crestwood. And son of a bitch, there's a truck that's bottoming out and getting stuck there all the time. One of these 18-wheelers, tractor trailers, tries to go across that. And it can't, and it gets stuck right on that hump in the middle, and then they have to call a tow truck to come and lift it off the fucking thing. You'd think they'd learn.
I understand that's where Tony Khan's opening their developmental territory, Pee Wee Valley Wrestling.
Pee Wee Valley, yeah, it's a hell of a market. It's untapped.